sound of the breeze and a heartfelt laugh, bringing northern charm to a southern brew. Oh, the Gringo baker has found his sweet spot, trading snowflakes for rain and enjoying it a lot.
Good evening. Welcome to the Gringo Baker Live. I'm your host. I'm Ken. I'm the Gringo Baker. I got that name when I first moved to Puerto Rico. My nephew and his wife decided that it was kind of funny that a guy from Maine would be a baker in Puerto Rico. So I got called the Gringo Baker. If you listen to any of the songs on the timer file in the first of this, then you already know that that story. And right now I'm a little bit handicapped because I don't have a monitor going. Usually I do, but for some reason they didn't want to do it. So let's take a quick look here. It looks like I'm live, so then that's good. Okay, so tonight we're going to do a kitchen science demonstration. I was going to give you a tour of my studio, but one of my cameras doesn't want to work, which is pretty difficult. Actually, it's this one, and I could take it down, and I could use it, but it's just too much hassle to put it back out. So I will tell you that this is a little house that my wife and I first moved into when we came to Puerto Rico, and it's about 15 or 20 feet behind my mother-in-law's house. We now live about 150 feet across the street from my mother's house in a house that we bought. This house is 341 square feet, and this was the first place that I ever made a live, long-form YouTube video. It was, it's my number 2 most popular video still, and it was making tall biscuits. And if you look through my thumbnails, you'll see one with a biscuit with a ladder leaning up against it and a really bitty meat standing down at the bottom. That was the first video that I ever did. That was February of 2026. And it's got like 12,000 views now, I think. The most popular one has over 1,000. And that was a really short thing about making apple pie crescent rolls. Okay, so tonight we're also, the chat's going to be live the whole time. I think it's working. And so anytime you want to make a comment, just go ahead. Can't talk. If you have a question, just ask it, and I'll try to answer them. Okay, so I'd like somebody to make a comment so I know for sure if the screen is going out. According to my monitoring, it looks like it is, but something went wrong on my chat window. Oh, how wonderful is that? Okay, well, I'll try to fix that when we're doing something else where you're not watching me. Oh, wait a minute. There is the microphone. All right. Let's see if that makes it a little easier to hear. I do see some chat. Let's see. I had to forget something. So now you should be hearing me. Let me know if you, yes. I don't plan a redo because I plan these every couple of weeks. And yeah, I just forgot the microphone. I was getting too busy at the end trying to get the monitor working and finally gave up on it. You know, what I finally did was I had a teleprompter screen up so that I'd remember everything I wanted to say. And unfortunately, I had to kick that off so that I could monitor the stream, because my lovely little Chromebook that's supposed to be doing it isn't working. Okay, so now that I know I actually have a few people here, I think everybody can hear me now, right? I see that Anissa can, and Solange, and there we go. And Zeke can hear me now too. Okay, so what we're going to do is turn on the hot water, which I forgot to do. But we're going to do a little science demonstration to start with. And for that, I'm going to switch to the side camera. And yeah, good, it's not frozen. I think I'm going to try to move that camera ahead a little bit. So hang on one second. That's the second time today I have knocked this camera down. There, you can see that a little bit better. So what I'm going to do is add a little bit of water to each of these two bowls. This is room temperature water, real room temperature. It's been sitting in here for about a week. And now the hot water is hot, so I'm going to add, well, before I do that, let me add the baking powder to the machine we call the dropper. As you can tell, it's pretty homemade. And I bet that camera is way off sides now. Okay, I'm putting a half a teaspoon of baking powder in each one of these two holes. That's all I need this time around. Well, I don't really want any of this to start with. Okay, so we're going to add a little hot water to the other bowl. And we're going to see what the difference is in the reaction between cold water, room temperature water, and hot water. What do you guys think is going to happen? There will be a difference. Now, baking powder does not need any kind of acid. It only needs a liquid. But I'm going to do a little countdown, and then I'm going to do it. I don't see anybody's guessed yet. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. Watch closely. I'll switch to the overhead, and maybe you can see that a little bit better. Well, I hope you saw it, because what happened is, this is the cold water one, and I'm going to bring it up, and as you can see, it's still doing a little foaming. This one, with the hot water, went nuts. And I hope you saw that, because that's the whole purpose of this demonstration. And the reason it did that is baking powder, if you ever looked at the label, it says double acting. And what that means is it reacts once to the liquid. When it gets wet, it reacts. When you mix it in something and you put it in the oven, then the heat kicks off another reaction, and it makes even more carbon dioxide. And that's what happened in this bowl. If I had had the hand camera that I intended to have, I was going to do a really, really close up to that. But that didn't happen, obviously. So there's a little more powder in there, and you can see the hot reacts instantly, and the other one is just kind of sitting there. All right, so let's move this out of the... Hi, hey, Jim. I was hoping you'd make it. What's messed up? Cecil. You guys can't see each other in the chat, but you're supposed to be able to tonight. That was another thing that didn't work as well as it's supposed to. There was a little script that AI wrote for me, and it worked last night or yesterday when I was doing a practice session. It worked perfectly. Tonight, when it matters, that's quite all right, Jim. Jim says he's sorry he's a bit late. Yesterday, when it didn't matter, it worked perfectly. Tonight, when I have people here, okay. Well, you know what that means? Oh, you can see them? Wow, it told me there was a problem, and I'm not seeing it on my end. I mean, I'm seeing the chat because I'm monitoring the YouTube output, but I'm not seeing it on my streaming software screen. Okay, so let's set that aside. And I made a mess, but I have a towel right here handy. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to make, that's so cool. I'm going to make a Puerto Rican side dish that yes, I do have a fan on. Is that better? Now, what I'm going to do now is, as I started to say, make a Puerto Rican side dish that I discovered quite accidentally in a restaurant one day. Oh, good. Hey, Cheryl. And I discovered it accidentally in a restaurant one day, and it was so good. And so I get it every time I go to a restaurant, and that's not hard to do here because every restaurant has it on the menu. So what I've got here is just your average frying pan with about a quarter cup of oil in it. And I'm going to start heating this while I do the next stage. And I keep forgetting this thing takes a couple of seconds for the gas to get through. Yeah, that's on purpose. That's so you can, there we go. That's so you can see me while I'm doing this cooking thing. There's a couple other views I can show you. We have this one, and you can't see much with that. And we have this one. You can see slightly more with that. So you tell me which one you like better, whether you like it looking straight down or looking from the side angle in the front, or which way you like it. All right, so what we're going to do, this is a plantain. And a plantain is a cousin to a banana, but unlike a banana, you don't eat these things raw. And I'm going to peel it. And I first do that by cutting the ends off. Now you can't see this process at all, can you? So I'm going to switch views again. And I will, well, I'm going to do it with the overhead because I think you can see this much, much better in the overhead. So what I'm going to do is peel this. And the way you peel these is you just take the tip of the knife and you break the skin. You don't really do anything beyond going through the skin. And then you just peel it off like you're taking your overcoat off. Now, for what I'm making, which is called amarillos maduros, which I'm sure that my wife and my daughter and my sister-in-law will all laugh at my pronunciation of that. But that oil is getting a little too warm. But what you want, you notice that this is yellow, but it's also got a lot of black on the skin. And you want that because, no, I can't because the other camera, it's on a solid mount up there. I tried to focus it so it would zoom in. And camera doesn't seem to want to zoom in when it's up top like that. Or when it's videoing, I guess. It's going through a website. Can't see the frying pan. How's that? This oil is smoking like a son of a gun, so I know it's too hot, so I'm going to take it off for just a couple of seconds because we don't want these to burn instantly. We actually want it to cook a little bit, and that'll soften them up. That little small me up in the corner, Cecil, is called a PIP, a picture in picture. And the idea is that it's supposed to let you see me talking while I'm also doing the cooking. Okay, let's try that now. Now what I've done is slice these into little half-inch thick pieces. Half-inch or so, approximately. I'm only doing one plantain's worth of these tonight because it's almost 7 o'clock here and there's nobody going to eat these except me, and I'm not going to eat 10 pieces. Now we're going to let it cook about 3 minutes on the side. So just to be on the safe side, I'm going to set a timer for 3 minutes. Now, you don't really have to set a timer. You just kind of want to keep an eye on them and make sure that you don't burn them. What I'm going to do in the future, because I do realize that that's not focusing close enough to this. I think what I'm going to do in the future is make that mount so that it comes down, kind of like extend down. I've been over here in the studio most of today to try to get this going, and as is typical, at the very end, a couple of things didn't work, like the handheld camera wouldn't work. It kept going in and out, in and out, in and out, which made me finally decide that I was overloading the computer, the Wi-Fi, and then I took it off of that network, and now, like I say, it runs through another network off someplace. You can't find them, right? We went to San Juan to get these, actually. You'd think we could find them pretty quickly. But we got them off a street vendor in San Juan. That probably is pretty loud in the microphone, right? It's funny because I don't like a lot of things with plantains, but I really like these. Let me see how we're doing here. Ooh, they're a little too black. Guess I better get these babies turned and turn that heat down a little again. Ooh. I didn't even think it was the oil was that hot because it stopped smoking entirely. But they are mostly done. I can tell with the tongs at this point. I lost my eyesight here. Oh, okay, it's that one. You can see they're a little too black. Yeah, the last ones I got, they were, it's just regular vegetable oil. I think maybe frying them in coconut oil would add a little bit of different taste to it. And Rebecca there told me about a way that their mother used to cook them when they were kids, in oil and butter and sugar, and adding a little cinnamon. We're going to try that on a future stream. How's the weather, Jim? Okay, that's good to know. Do you fry them at home, Louisa? It's not cool here in Puerto Rico. It's 87 in here right now. Ah, yeah. You can't get plantains at Market Basket? I like the fact this gas stove is a whole lot more responsive when I turn the dial than the electric one is. That one takes forever. I'm not really surprised there that you can't find a sweet one, but like I did and like Anissa does, if you've got patience enough, you can make a green one, a sweet one. Just takes a month. In fact, the last two I had, they were green when I got them. And I thought that, oh, you let them set till they're black, they're sweet. I thought that, oh, they're pretty on the other side. Anyway, I thought that they were too black. They were not. They were really, really, really good. They weren't quite to the gross black stage. Okay, here we go. Now we're going to take them out and put them in the on the paper towel to soak up the oil. Hey, Becky, if Jose wants to come out and get some of these, send him out. Really? I'm not an expert, so I don't know. As you can see, when you cook these, they're easy to burn. And part of the reason for that is that as they get black on the outside, they get sweeter and sweeter and sweeter and sweeter. So they got more and more sugar in them. And the sugar lets them burn quickly. The last ones I made, I burned also because those, like I say, were really sweet. Plantains were soft to begin with. So they burned really quickly. Plus, it was on the electric burner, and I can't regulate the heat on that at all. This one, I just got this, and this just works so much better. This is the cooker you'll be seeing in the future when I do cook something. And the cooking is going to be part of the live streams. The science demonstration is also going to be part of the live streams. And then we're going to come into my favorite part, which is what we're doing right now, is just chatting back and forth. I can tell you that the schedule right now for April is April 12th. I'm going to do a live stream. And April 26th, 26th, I'm actually going to have a guest. I have another YouTuber who, he's quite a guy. I like him a lot. I haven't met him, but I talked to him. It does. I like burnt toast, for example, and burned hot dogs. Those are the best. But he has his channel, which actually has more subscribers than I do by a lot. But his videos tend to be shorts, and they tend to be, unlike things I would cook, they tend to be one pot meals. He's got a couple little kids and his wife and him, and he works full time, and he makes a lot of videos. So he's agreed to be a guest, but we couldn't set it up before the 26th. And that's the schedule. I haven't looked at May yet, but it's likely to be every 2 weeks, but it might actually at some point, if I start thinking of enough stuff to do in one of these, it might actually become a weekly event, which I would like. I love doing this. I love doing this. I love talking to people while I'm doing it. It's a lot easier than just trying to talk to the camera by itself. Yeah, it will be fun. He's a funny guy. He's a good guy. He's a lot younger than me. I think he's even younger than you, Jim, by quite a bit. Let's see. I don't know that I've got anything else for you tonight. So ask away with the questions. If there's other people besides the 5 or 6 people that I'm seeing here, join in. Jump right on that chat. We can answer questions, tell you what I plan to do next. This, what are you, 47? This week, I'm actually going to be making a couple of videos I haven't made a video in a while because I've been so preoccupied with getting this to work. And now that it's a couple week break before I do it again, I can take these cameras down, put up the cameras that do the videos. They're different. They have SD cards in them. What I'm using tonight is phones. And wow, you are young. So what I'm doing tonight is using phones, and he is not local. I don't know where he is. He's Minnesota, maybe Minnesota or Wisconsin, I think. I know he's where there's snow because he did one at his grill and there was snow on the ground. And I commented that if you live where there's snow, you got to grill when you can or when you want to. You can't let snow stop you. I forgot what I was saying. Somebody can remind me if it was important, and if it was not, the heck with it. So I actually was only a minute or so late tonight, which is a minute or so later than I wanted to be. I wanted to hit it right on the pin tonight, but as you saw, that timer tile was locked on 7:59 and wasn't moving. It was a little hard to keep track because I was doing other things at the same time, trying to make the monitor work, trying to make the camera work. That spelling probably works a whole lot better than what Rebecca gave me. But when I looked them up, I got a whole different word, the last word, Kara something. And do you guys all remember them fondly from your childhood? But I did find a recipe for them, and it sounded exactly like what Rebecca said. Okay. My mind is abandoning me here. Doesn't work very well. Cecil, are you still with us? Oof, those are too hot. I'm not grabbing one of those just yet. I really wanted to do a studio tour tonight. I spent at least an hour and a half maybe this morning organizing stuff. Rebecca can tell you it looked really good. And I even brought my mother-in-law over for a tour. I think that's the second time she's been in this house since I changed it into the kitchen into a studio. You guys are leaving me to talk for myself. As I was saying earlier, I really like doing these lives. It's fun to do it in person, live, and there's no editing to this except when it becomes. Thank you. Except when it becomes a recording, then I chop the ends off and make it a little more concise. Thanks, Jim. It was looking pretty good anyway, and then I painted the walls to a more camera-friendly color. And then my wife did the decorating on top of the cabinets and the plants. Why do you have a crown and a number 2, Jim? Is that because you're the number 2 typo King on Van Life Chat? Or is that something that got put there today? Speaking of today, I got 2 new subscribers today. And that always makes me feel good. Yeah, no, it came up again. Do you see it? Yeah, the typo prints for sure, but you do? Yes, she did. Hello there. I don't know how you pronounce your name. Is it Disbulance? Welcome. I'm really happy to see you join us. If you don't mind me asking, what part of the world are you commenting from? You must be the number 2 most active commenter, Jim. But I don't see the 1 and 3. That's kind of strange, but I like it. So anyway, as I was saying, my wife does a wonderful job of decorating anything she puts her mind to. Ah, so you're in cold weather too. Not that I'm in cold weather, but Rolla Barry 2 is in cold. You're still number 3, huh? So I do see a 3 now. Welcome to Dizzy Ambulance. I appreciate you being here. I got to ask, did you come in? Did you find the live from one of the many things I posted that it was going to happen on? Yeah, I'm pretty used to snow too because we lived in Maine before moving here in I think it was November of 2021. For those that don't know, Solange is my wife. And she moved here with me. She talked me into it. She said, hey, listen, when I go to Puerto Rico this winter, why don't we both go? And why don't we both go for 6 months? And I had never been here for longer than, I think, 2 weeks. And I said, I don't know about that. She said, we could close the house down and not buy heating oil all winter long. Oh, good. Well, thank you. I appreciate you being here. You can keep following me, I really appreciate that. So anyway, long story short, I finally agreed to it. And we came here and we were here 7 months. The house across the street from my mother-in-law's became available for sale. And I told my wife we could buy that and move here. And we did. And I don't miss cold and I don't miss snow. Even as hot as it sometimes gets here, I do not wish I was back in the frozen land of hell. Snow is not my favorite thing. Of course, then I was working too, so come home from work and I have to deal with snow, and now I don't work at all because I don't speak Spanish, and getting a job here would be a little difficult without it. Yeah, you don't miss it either, do you? Up there in New Hampshire now that you're in Florida. So I got to ask, what would you guys like to see me make for a video? The one I'm planning is I made for Super Bowl, I bought a football cake mold, and I made a football cake using a white cake mix. And the directions call for water, and an alternative was milk, and I thought that might sound better. So I made it with milk, but now I'm curious. So I have 2 of the same cake mixes. Oh, that would be nice. I have 2 of the same cake mixes, and I'm going to make them both the same time in the same oven, one using water and one using milk. That'll be the only variation. And we'll see what the real difference is between water and milk in a cake mix. And the winging part of that is I get 2 cakes to eat. I had some stew in a restaurant here recently, which was not stew. It was soup all day long. It was not stew. The picture on the wall, it was stew, and it was garbanzo beans, which is chickpeas, stew. And it had meat in it, and it had sausage in it, and some veggies. Had it been stew, it would have been really, really good. I'm going to be making that in a video at some point. But I don't have a slow cooker, and a slow cooker recipe would be a pretty long, boring video. So we'll be cooking that on this little gadget. I have a slow cooker somewhere. It's put away, and I don't know where. I like to use it for making homemade baked beans because the homemade baked, what am I showing you? The homemade baked beans take so long in the oven that a slow cooker is actually much better for doing them. Bear with me a second. I'm going to adjust this camera that got screwed up when the other one fell. There, now you can see the top of my head. And I'm not doing this anymore. I decided I would taste one of these for you guys. And I have to tell you, you like it. You like it enough, so we're going to have a second one. They're good, Jim. You like them. Is that Ricardo? In fact, you're going to have a third one. Tender and soft and good. And Cheryl, they are just burned right on the good side of too much. The burn does add to it. It sure would. I can see it now. All right, we're going to put this on low, and we're going to watch it for like 10 hours. Tell you what, it might get me some watch time. I need watch time. I've got enough subscribers, but I need a lot of watch time. So you're in Texas, Ricardo? You guys are going to taste another one. Well, I'm glad you did. And I'm glad you didn't miss it. And I hope you enjoy what you do see. You did miss the demonstration part of the live. I don't think you can see it. Cool. That's one state I really haven't been in. I was in the airport in Dallas for a couple hours, and that's it. Other than that, I got 49 states. So if I count Dallas and the airport, I've been in all 50. So yeah, you missed the demonstration showing the reaction difference between hot and cold water with baking powder. And you missed me cooking these delicious little tastes, the treats. These are sweet plantains, sweet yellow plantains, fried in a frying pan in oil until they're done. So I'm taste testing them for you guys. And I have to say, there is a chance that I might actually eat all 10 of these. They're really good. They're better than the first ones, which surprises me a bit. Because the first ones were blacker, so they should have been sweeter, but these are very sweet. I wonder if the difference is that the first ones were green ones that I let ripen until they were black. So they should have been, very, very, very sweet. And they were very sweet, but these are actually better. Ricardo, you're from Puerto Rico. Are you going to tell me that the driving and the traffic in Houston is worse than Puerto Rico? Because Puerto Ricans have a unique way of driving. Where are you from? Slug? If you don't mind me asking. Well, I'm sure that in a future stream, I will be doing the same demonstration over again. In fact, if oh wow, so you get real cold weather. I'm going to move a couple of things out of the way here. And I will do the demonstration over again. But you're going to have to bear with me while I get a couple more bowls so that I don't have to wash these first. This time, I will try to do something about the glare. Tell me if I switch to this camera and put the towel behind. Nah, it doesn't help. Okay. Had a guy the other day, Louisa, that decided to give your sister and I a heart attack. I was going through a red light, and well, it wasn't red. I was going through a traffic light on the green. He was to my right, cut across in front of me, and then cut away from me just before I would have hit him. It was a pretty good aerobic exercise for a second or two there. All right, so not to get any powder in these dishes, let's switch to the overhead and see if that shows better. I'm being blinded by one of the box lights. You know what? I'm going to do something a little bit different here. No, okay. Hang on. We will put some hot water in one bowl, some cold water in the other bowl, and then we're going to take the funnel and a measuring spoon and put a half a teaspoon approximately of baking powder in 2 of the holes in my homemade dropper device here. Then we'll put the bowls on. Now, I don't know the temperature of the water at this point. It's obviously not as hot as it was the first time, but let's see what happens this time. And I'm aiming the camera. Okay, here we go. I'm going to dump it. I'm holding this camera by hand. I'm going to dump it now. The one on the left is the hot water, and you can see there's a whole lot more action going on in that one than there is in the cold water one. And the reason for that, as I explained earlier, is that baking powder is double acting. It reacts once when it hits the water, and it reacts a second time when it gets heat, like in the hot oven. But I do it this way so you can see it getting the heat without waiting for an oven to get it warm. But that was the demonstration earlier. This is a more Reader's Digest condensed version of the same thing. I'm not going to do the cooking demonstration again because I gave away the other yellow plantain I had. So that camera angle was a little bit better, I hope. You're quite welcome. I enjoyed showing it again. Oh, you missed it too. Did either one of you know that baking powder reacted to heat like that? I gotta tell you, I knew it reacted to heat. I didn't know it did it like that. Well, good, I'm glad. The original plan was that camera was going to be handheld, but in a frame so that it wasn't jiggly. It's cooled off in here. It's only 86.7 now. I imagine in the summertime it's going to be really hot in here. Well, it is. Cooking is all magic, isn't it? Now my table is a mess here, which is more my normal state. I did one of these as a video one time because I read about 6 times too many that baking soda needs salt to react, and it does not. And I made a little video that proved it, and that video gets a lot of views, which kind of amazed me. I like debunking myths when I can, and that was one that definitely needed debunking, because baking soda needs an acid. Yeah, at least. Baking soda needs an acid to react. It doesn't react in water. It doesn't react with salt. I've done some witchcraft. I made some meatloaf one time. That was just awful. And my first ever that I remember cooking episode, I was young, probably, I don't know, 7, 8, somewhere in there, and making applesauce. And my grandmother was trying to give me directions, but I kind of resisted that. So she just let me make it as I wanted to. They had 2 400-pound pigs that wouldn't eat that applesauce. So yeah, that was kind of witchcraft. But since then, I've learned to make applesauce. I don't know what I put in that, but it was just plain awful. Awful, awful, awful. I mean, how bad you got to be before pigs won't eat it? Cooking is magic or witchcraft. I tried some pork chops once that were curry and orange, and that was close to the worst thing I've ever had. The worst thing I ever had was eggplant. It was fried, and basically I can only describe it as being pretty slimy. And it just made me feel like I was going to throw up instantly. So I've never tried it again, and I don't plan to, just because of that one time. Yeah, that's really messed up. I mean, these are 400-pound pigs. They didn't get that by skipping meals. Oh, it was just awful. Just plain terrible. And the meatloaf I made that was bad, I made with, I don't see these anymore, but I made it with cheese Ritz crackers as one of the fillers. And it was pretty close to inedible. I'm speaking of making things. Not too long ago, I made a video with passion fruit and mango on a pork roast, and that was pretty good. And I'm going to make another one. I'm going to go a little off the beaten path on the next one. I'm either making it with a pineapple glazed sauce. Yeah, that's pretty appropriate. But I'm either going to make it with a pineapple glaze saucy kind of thing, something that somebody else made with cranberry sauce. And I love cranberry sauce. That might possibly be a pretty good roast, perhaps with apricot in the cranberry sauce or cranberry glaze, because at Thanksgiving, that's my favorite way to make cranberry sauce, is with apricot in it. Anybody think that sounds good? Oh, I know what I forgot to do tonight. I forgot to introduce you guys to my crew. Let me do that. You can see that everybody looks pretty similar there, except for this guy down here. And that's my advisor. A lot of YouTube videos, some AI stuff, and research on recipe ideas. But that's my crew. Jig's dinner. There's got to be a story behind that one. You can see that there's a lot of jobs behind making lives and even videos, but there's not, that whole crew doesn't work on videos, but it sure does on lives. If I tried to hang up that many hats, I'd run out of wall space. Thank you. Can you imagine, honey, if I had that many hats and tried to hang them up? I have two that are always in the way. Well, I think I might call it a night. It's been just about an hour, and that's probably as long as any of you guys want to put up with me. So unless you've got something else that you want to talk about or questions or anything, I think I'm going to say goodnight. That just seems like Jig's dinner would have a story behind it. Maybe you should make one up. You ever think of that? You could make up a story and you swear it's true and start a tradition with the name, and people in a couple of years' time would believe that's what happened. Well, thank you all for making it. Oh, my microphone go dead? No, it's still live. Well, I appreciate that. Did Julens? Yeah, you could spin a new one. Good night, honey. Good night, everybody. And I'll see Cheryl and Jim Tuesday night. And hopefully I'll see some of the others of you in future lives and in chats on the videos and comments on the videos. Those make my day, by the way. Okay. Thank you very much, Louisa. I'm glad you could too, Slug Thug. So thank you, everybody, and good night. And I'll see you